Welcome to Scriptural Snapshots, brought to you by Living Faith Ministries in Kaiser, West Virginia, where we bring the living Word of God into your life. I'm Pastor Gordon Brubaker. The third command, we're talking about the law, the 10 commandments, and we're applying them to today so you can understand the relevancy and the wisdom of God. He says in the third commandment, you shall not take the name of the Lord your God in vain, for the Lord will not hold him guiltless who takes his name in vain. You know, the thing about the law is this third commandment is about mocking God. And one of the ways we mock God is we make laws that are right for us, but they're not just. We make rules in church, in society, in our community, in our organizations that do not reflect who God is. And we make a mockery of him because we make up our own rules that undermine the rule of God. Now, the rule of God is universal. The Word of God, the law of God is immutable, just like God. It never changes. It's the same yesterday, today, and forever. And a lot of people say, well, now we have advanced more and we need to appropriate and update our laws to what we need today. Well, you know, the laws really don't need to be changed as much as some people think they do, but they need to be equally enforced. And we've been going through 4 things here this week about what laws do. And the first thing that laws do is they establish boundaries and limitations. So everybody knows what the limits are, what they're allowed to do, and what they're not allowed to do. They protect people from abuse, from lawless people. See, laws are there to restrict the ungodly from persecuting the godly, from having unrighteous people, evil people, destroy the lives of good, decent, hard-working people. It's there to protect the weak from the strong. Okay, this is what the laws of God do. So the laws say, "Thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not murder, thou shalt not do." It's like these are all different things, but it's to protect people from being abused. That's so important. The third thing we learned is laws must be enforced equally. They cannot be enforced randomly. They cannot be, well, I like you, so I'm going to give you a more of an option. No. If you do that, you undermine the purpose of laws. See, this is where every government has police and every government has an army for one basic purpose: to secure the law. And when the laws are not enforced equally, then nobody obeys the laws because nobody knows what the law is, and it becomes anarchy. And you need more police, you need more military people to enforce the law because nobody is. You know, our founding fathers understood this. He said, if we abandon the morals of God, if we abandon the Christian religion, we will create a hole that no army in the world can stop. In other words, it will be anarchy, it will be revolution, and no government can handle that. When the laws break down, so does the culture, the society, so does any sense of government break down. It becomes anarchy, becomes total chaos. The fourth thing, and I've already hit on this a little bit, laws must be applied across the board. In other words, laws have got to go from the top to the bottom. No one can be exempt from the law. Because if you do, again, you undermine the law. You undermine the purpose. See, the laws of God are to be equally applied. And unfortunately, there's some clergy that think that they have become so holy, so special, that they have placed themselves above the law. So what they demand from their parishioners, what they demand from others, doesn't apply to them. Well, I'll tell you, it's not just in the church. It's also in government. It's in the military. It's in business. It's, you know, if Donald Trump got into trouble, he shouldn't have said it, but it's a truth. He got into trouble years ago in his locker room talk when he made the comment that, you know, once you get enough power, once you get enough authority and money, you know, women will just come to you. Well, he's right, because people seek out power. And in order to be around power, they will do anything that you want them to do. Not just prostitution, they'll kill people. They'll destroy lives. We're seeing that now with Governor Cuomo in New York. It's coming out that he uses intimidation And he said, against his enemies, his political enemies, he'll seek to destroy their lives. It's like, he's not alone. This has been going on for thousands of years. That's why the laws have to be enforced universally, above everybody, across the board. When the law is undermined, or the law is undermined, when any group is allowed to operate outside the law. So when you pass a law and say, well, this law only applies to whites, that's an unjust law. When you pass a law, well, this law only applies to blacks, that's an unjust law. Or this law only applies to the Orientals, that's an unjust law. The laws have got to apply for everyone. And right now we're making exceptions. You know, if you're an illegal immigrant, you don't have to abide by the laws. You don't have to abide. It's like, listen, I've traveled to foreign countries. When you're in that country, even if you don't know the laws of the country, you do everything you can to not violate it. Because if you get into trouble in a foreign country, they can lock you away and you have no recourse, no hope of intervention because you're all by yourself. You obey the law. And you are extra careful to not break the law because you don't want to get into trouble and get locked up where you can't have any help. See, the result of operating outside the law is chaos and tyranny. And there's no recourse for that once this has occurred. We need to hope in God. I'm Pastor Gordon Brubaker. God bless you.